So, I've been doing this for a while, and I gotta tell you, this is my least favorite part, being here, very exposed. I hate it. I really don't like it at all. I would much prefer you seeing that blue guy in front of me. I really is very odd considering I always thought I was going to be this big actor. I moved to, I sold all my belongings when I was in college, and I moved to California. And I went there to be the next Jim Carrey, and then what I didn't realize was they didn't want him. Another one, they already had him, and they didn't care about me, and I was like, oh, this is a weird place. And while I was trying to figure out this like weird, dumb Hollywood dream, I was working at all these small little theaters, these independent theaters, and I hated it because no one would listen to me, and I'm clearly, I need people to listen to me, and I also, here's a real truth, I don't like theater. I don't like it. It's weird. I don't know what we're doing. I remember being in a show where I broke a glass in my hand and I started to bleed, and I was bleeding like really bad, like, oh shit, I really broke and I remember wrapping a shirt around my hand, and it was a white shirt, and it was Mr. Roberts, it was a show, and I remember I couldn't be like, my hand, look, holy shit, can you believe I did that? I had to like pretend that everything was normal, and I was like, yeah, Mr. Pulver, blah, 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 blah. Yes, Captain. Meanwhile, blood is like just sitting, the whole audience is like, God damn, this is wild, this kid's gonna pass out. And you couldn't say, oh my God, my hand, and I just, theater's weird. And in Santa Ana, there was a small little theater that I was working. I was doing these late night shows, and I wrote this stupid puppet show called Hamlet Has No Legs. And I had no idea what I was doing, and I didn't particularly like Shakespeare, and I definitely was okay with puppets. I had been working at Universal Studios and Disneyland doing puppets, believe it or not, with them. I was always a Muppets fan, and I loved them. And when I was in 6th grade, in Arizona, I took an after-school program where they taught me how to build puppets. Whoa. Instead of doing normal shit, there was a teacher called Mr. McCarty, and he was teaching an after-school program how to build puppets, and I was so shy. And I built these puppets, and I was talking with these puppets, and it was like, oh my God, I could do this. And yet, if you asked me, did you think you'd be a puppeteer? No, I was going to be the next Jim Carrey. I was going to be super famous. I was going to be able to buy my grandmother a car. It's weird, though, because now I'm here. I told my stage manager I would not cry, and I almost just did, and I got real mad because I love this. It's wild. It's really crazy. So nerdy. And to think that I convinced these idiots to also join me in this is wild. So, let's get past this, and the fact that we've talked you into seeing this is even crazier to me. So, let's get into the fun stuff of this show. Let's talk about the really cool stuff, the stuff that is going to help me make bigger and cooler shit for you. So, let's start with the black and white thing. Pretty cool, yeah? I really liked it. Now, who you are seeing is Zach Funk, and this is Tori Connors. Tori Connors is one of our deaf people, and Zach Funk is a master of all trades. He's been with me the longest, 11 and a half years. He's the longest tenured all-puppet player in history. It's pretty wild. He's John McClane. He's the man in black for Princess Bride. He is my Hooper from Jaws. He is my Frank Oz, if there was a comparison. So he's been with me for a really long time. So, let's talk about these puppets. Now, building in black and white is extremely fucking expensive. It's so goddamn expensive because I don't want them to look shitty. I want them to look so good. So, I am in touch with this guy named Bo and his team, and they build all of our puppets since the new iteration of Die Hard. And they're not cheap, but I think you're really seeing some real quality things. And what we've done here to sort of minimize our costs is we've created puppets that can tear off their faces, and then we have these noses, or we have these eyebrows, or we have these other eyeballs, and we can really just do a different face. Oh, God damn it! You fucking idiots! You're ruining it! And you're never get anything new. Or Jen will go. Jen's my stage manager, by the way. She's been with me for almost 11 and a half years as well. Pretty awesome to still be around that long. So it means that I'm not so but anytime a new thing comes in, she goes, how long before he breaks it? And I go, it's got to be 2 days, 3 days. There's always a running time. Actually, the question is, who's going to break something first? And I always go, betting odds him, and it's always correct. So anyway, so to minimize these costs, we have these noses and eyebrows, and these guys are basically rearranged during the show to save costs, because something really fucking expensive is about to show up. So we had to sort of build around it. And shit, I really wanted Hamlet in this, which means I've also got to build a black and white Hamlet, so holy crap, we've got to figure all that out too. So these guys are the doctors, they're the farmer and the mother in the beginning, they're any sort of airport person you saw, that's basically all of them. Every soldier, that's them, the doctor and the he's that one of those two. So we have 4 of those that we can sort of swap in and out their faces. Now, when you go to the smallest ant version that we have, I thought I would like to build it up as we go, so we get our smallest guy. I realize now, you probably didn't even notice this, but he's controlled by Tori off stage. So we've got these servos in it. So we built this really cool rig, and by we, I don't mean we, I mean a guy named Raiden Gorby. He works at Luna's Puppets. I bought the first Hamlet from him 14 years ago. That's how I met him. He started building puppets out of his garage, and I bought one of the first ones, and it happened to be Hamlet. Funny story, Hamlet's supposed to have 2 teeth. On opening night, if Hamlet has no legs, the fucking right one fell out right before I walked on stage. And that's why he has only 1 tooth. I fucking broke the first one. Or he would have had fangs, and I think it actually is his hilarious trademark now. He's like Jewel. So we have these really tiny servos that Raiden is really known for. He builds big, huge shit for Coachella, famous people, and he really liked the idea, and he said, okay, I'll do it. And I said, you gotta do a black and white Hamlet. To him, it's Leonard. And he's like, oh my God, that sounds awesome, I'm in. So he built us this really cool rig. Thank you, Tori. Then I go, okay, Raiden, you've got the small one, that's really cool, but I'm going to need others. I'm going to need more. I'm going to need bigger bodies, parts. I have this black and white thing, but the biggest one has got to be real big. And he's like, all right, what are you thinking, like 8 feet? And I was like, no, I was thinking like 15 feet. And he was like, 15 feet? And he built out of his garage in Seattle. And he's like, yeah, right, I can hit 15. So, this is what he built. He built this out of spray foam. All of it. Spray foam. Can you believe it? He didn't realize spray foam in a can only gives you like that much of spray. And he's like, I never would have done it. I fucked myself. And because he had textured all of this, he used a pallet of spray foam for her. I can't imagine the environmental impact we've had. So she has antennae that come off, but they are sort of on there loosely, so as she wiggles around, they sort of swing wildly, which gives us movement. Very cool. She has mandibles that obviously move. We'll show you the back of her in just a second.
Hey, Mom.
There they are. And then, of course, we've got
showing
these
stuff
6
on the
legs.
screen,
We've got
would
2
you take the house lights
puppeteers
down?
running. First 2,
Thank you.
a puppeteer here in the middle, and then we've got another puppeteer over here. Her wingspan is crazy. I remember we picked her up in Seattle, and I'm looking at her in his garage. And she's like sort of slumped over, and I was like, and he's like, don't worry, it's gonna look really cool. Let's build it out on my driveway. And I was like, oh, cool, what? All right, that's awesome. So we push her out, and it's a beautiful Portland day. It's cloudy, and it's got this like light rain, and I'm looking at her as we're building her, and I'm like, holy shit. And I look over, and people are like, she's fine. That's what she's actually built for. We weren't sure how many puppeteers were going to be able to attach themselves to her, so she has these springs in her legs. These springs actually cause her, if we had to push her, they would sort of wobble her around. They wouldn't look real articulate, but they would at least do something. The other cool thing about these guys is they all have these pull pins here that basically we can remove the arms or the legs for basically storage. They really suck. I don't know why I decided to show you this. That's so stupid. Oh, I hate it.
Oh, more harder.
Don't say that. I'm trying. So we have no room backstage. I really wish I could give each and every one of you a tour of the shit show that's going on back there. It's really small. This place was not built for theater. This place was built as a sort of a meeting hall. This used to be a Dial building. The Dial used to own this whole building. They would send people down floor by floor to do like HR meetings and stuff like that. So this wasn't built for dum-dums like me to be renting this place. So we've got no room. So she's got to compartmentalize. We've got to break her down backstage. So these legs being removed, don't forget, I'll lose it, is one of the things. We're going to spin her around so you can sort of see her guts. Give that little lady a spin. Oh, there wasn't a pin there. Oh, God. Her freedom! So as she spun around, she also breaks down. She was in a moving truck. We rented a U-Haul to break her down. Her head comes off, those antennae come off. The neck and the bike is its own piece. Is she clear of that curtain there? So it's all welded together, but there's a pull pin here, so I could separate her whole neck, her head, so she can fit in a U-Haul, and she did. My friend Jason Hammond, I talked him into flying up with me so that he could drive it back. I didn't want to spend 3 days in the car with her. What if I got pulled over and the guy was like, like, I can't even fucking deal with that at all. And I will be high if he pulls me over, so he's not going to be able to explain it. I'm not going to be able to explain it. It's just going to be a shit show. So he's driver. He was kind enough to drive her. So she broke into pieces the whole chest comes out. You can see all the spray foam built in here. Again, she's chicken wire and spray foam and PVC and nightmares. She's glorious. She's my favorite woman too. Now, I'm sure you're like, well, where are you going to keep it? I fucking don't know. I have no idea. I'm just trying to build cool shit, and I hope that we'll figure it out. But I have no idea where she'll live. The T-Rex, she lives right behind this. She's actually floating up above us right now. So anytime you walk backstage, you're like, what the fuck? It's really cool. It's weird. Anyway, you can kind of see it. Yeah, oh, you can't see her. That's a dumb move. Why did you try to show him that? Okay, let's talk about what's going on backstage, because I also think that's really, really, really cool. To show you what's going on backstage, let's bring the two geniuses who are back there, ADDing out together. Angela and Ian. Here they come. Here's Angela Duffy, Ian Wolf. So, part of the magic, the charm, the dumb things that we're doing, all for your entertainment purposes, is we're doing these models backstage. So we have a live camera set up, and I'll show you sort of the, what I call like the scene trough. I'll sort of explain that a little later, but this is what they are projecting, these little models. So we have all of these models with the camera perfectly situated. I found with messing with light, actually it looks really good black and white. It's better that way. Even though the projector is told to go black and white, we sort of doubled it. This is simply just a sheet of paper instead of the foam with a flashlight on the back of it, and this dumb ant super glued to a wooden, metal dowel. Like, that's what we're doing back here. Pure magic. But they even have a fan. Here is our windmill from the opening scene. You also have to have a windmill and, of course, the desert. I never understood that. But it's a little fan blowing it the whole time. The whole 30 minutes that you're here, they're just like, oh, wait, I hope the fan doesn't fucking burn out on this. This is wild. Why do I got to be here for 30 minutes? It's like so wild. We also bought a little doll furniture to just add depth. I'll show you some of the lighting that I learned with this. This is all helping me sort of imagine new places. Is there a world where Hamlet could be sword fighting with the skeleton from Evil Dead? You know what I mean? But they're performing it back there, and he's fighting here, and oh, could you have a dragon body just here, and then a dragon head come out here? Could you do something bigger, better? I don't know, but I think it starts here. I think. Here's like a perfect example of the nonsense that we're up to. Here's our prison scene. That acting trough that I'm sort of trying to explain is it's movable. They can actually shift it. That's what you're seeing. They're just slowly, the camera is positioned here, and they're slowly going this way. And my friend Brian Newell from the Maverick Theater in Fullerton, he was one of my first champions. He's a great guy. He's doing this really cool stuff with King Kong. He's got a great show in Fullerton, California, if you can ever see it. It's freaking amazing. I got to sit behind the scenes and watch him. Not only is he doing these little models, he's cutting together live green screen with his actors and another actor on another stage who's wearing a monkey suit. He's doing this magic. So I was like, I just want to borrow 10% of your magic dust. Show me how to do this. So he literally took a train from Fullerton, California at 11 p.m. and got here at 6 in the morning. He showed me how to set up the camera, he showed me all of this stuff, and then he got back on the train at 11 p.m. that night and drove all the way back. And he's not a big, happy man because of that. His room is very tiny and he's not a small man. So he was pissed. But it was worth it because he showed me how to do these really cool things. And he taught me how to do depth. Walt Disney, this is how he sort of animated his first movie, was by layers. And I realized as the camera moves, if you can see those layers, it kind of makes them look a little funnier. For some reason, I have no idea why. So anyway, these magicians are back there literally sliding. We'll show you. Can you hit the video, if you don't mind, of what they're doing backstage, and then we'll set something up and show you. Listen, every black and white movie had some sort of screen in it that they were sort of acting towards. So I thought, well, we got to do something that I don't think people will be expecting, which is we're going to do live backgrounds. Something that they would never imagine we would try to do. Sort of the fun part of what we do, right? Like, I could have easily just done a video. Pop up a video, film these in my house, and it would be done. But the fact that there are two people back there trying to make this all work too makes it way more fun. That's all I'm about. It's just taking a little bit of risks for no reason. So, if you look now at our live camera, let me roll myself up here. And here we are. Okay, so we are now on our set of Dick Mountain. Here's my hand. If I remove my hand, you'll see my stupid face. And here what they're doing is they're dropping the set in place and they're literally sliding it to the next one. So this trough is literally holding all of these sets, and they geniuses that they are, the ADD maniacs that they are, they have all of these markers that you can't see. I mean, I just ruined it. Oh God, they're gonna kill me. Oh, bro. Oh shit, Ian, I broke the chair. I'm so sorry. Ian, don't you yell at me. So they have all of these tapes and measurements. They have all these hilarious things over here, and they're puppeting all of these things on sticks, which again, it just makes everything look so funny to me.
Whoa.
So that's what they're doing backstage, and again, they're live up until the last shot. I'll be honest with you, the last shot obviously is not live when we blow her up because we needed them. They had to come on stage. She's the rocket, actual rocket that blows her arms off. I needed a person to be a rocket, and I needed him on the legs. So the whole backstage crew had to basically abandon what they were doing to run to help us get her on stage. So that's what us idiots are doing in this whole show. Anyway, I just want to thank them. Thank you guys very much. Thank you. All right, turn our lights off. Back to me. Good. Get out of here. Get off my stage. Just kidding.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you guys very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, I've learned a lot. I've learned so much from this show. I'm really excited about the stuff that I got cooking. I hope you are too, because I got to be honest with you. I really feel very honestly that right now is like the perfect time for all of us to be together. You're seeing something that I think, they say you capture lightning in a bottle. I think we have it for I think I've got it for just a little bit longer. So stick with us, because I think what I've got planned, it makes me excited. And I hope you are too. And thank you for supporting. Thank you for supporting small theaters. It's important. We are not a non-profit theater. We should be. It would be smarter, it would be easier, it would be less stressful. When we don't have a hit, it is a hit to us. It really is hard to take a swing, but I knew you'd show up. I fucking knew it. I knew you would, so thank you. So, I'm telling you, it's going to get bigger, it's going to get better. We're going to be around for a little bit longer. I'm not going to overstay my welcome. I don't want to overstay. I can't be around for that long. These people are too talented to not unleash them into the world. But we got to see what they're going to make. So I think I'm around for just long enough to fucking hit my stride. So I hope you are too. I thank you so much. I thank you so, so much. I hope you're excited. I love you very much. Thank you.